Hey there, Horne-Ellstrom here with What's She Up To Now? Day 386. Wow, 386 days in a row. I've just been sharing my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world of real businesses, offline manufacturing, retail, but I like to think of real hardcore, deliverable, physical product businesses to the world of online business. And I'm working on a women's summit, and part of the women's summit is it's all about customers. This first women's summit is all about customers, attracting customers, getting customers, finding customers, the customer experience, serving customers, building relationships with customers, creating the lifetime value of a customer. And one thing I wanted to do as a bonus training was to talk about the lifetime value of a customer, how you calculate it, and why it's important. So I was practicing a little bit on my supersized business page because I do a video for that every morning for my customers. And of course, it was over 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes and 33 seconds. So I had to do over. I had to take a mulligan, throw out a new ball, and do another shot. I learned about mulligans in golf. I used to golf. Before my kids were born, my ex-husband and I had golf memberships, and we golfed. Now, I've had challenging vision. I haven't been able to see out of my left eye since I was about my early 20s. So my early 20s, I lost the vision in my left eye. And that meant I have no depth perception. So golfing, tennis, any of the games and things that I used to love to do and play that you need to have depth perception, I found very challenging. But one of the things my husband taught me in golfing was that you could always take a mulligan. So if you did a really bad hit, you could drop another ball, add a point, and then take a mulligan. You could just say mulligan, and you could throw it on another ball and reshoot. So that's what helped me to enjoy golfing at all. That, and I had people watch where my ball went. So I would just hit, and wherever it went, somebody else would watch it and get me to it, which made it fun. But I learned about do-overs and mulligans. So this morning I had to do a do-over, and I have to do one every once in a while. I have to do a video again, only because of the 10-minute limit. But every time I do it over again, it's always more clear, more concise, and better. So I think it's kind of the universe telling me, hey, you were way too rambly and worry on that. Do it again. Because there's a couple of places, like my supersized business page, I just want to share the nuts and bolts of, here this concept is, this is why it's important to you, here's how you figure it out and apply it to you. And a lot of times I give too many, it's usually when I give too many examples or too many stories that it runs over. Now, when I do this training, I've got 5 actual different business examples of how to calculate and how to figure out your lifetime value of your customer, because I don't have to be limited to 10 minutes. And I want to do a really good job explaining the different types of ways to calculate this and how it's different and variable. And really the most important thing is, what are your numbers? What does it mean to you? And why do you even want to figure it out? What's important about it and why? And I think it's just because it gives you a change of perspective. It allows you to look at, well, what is the real value of having a relationship and building a relationship with this person? Because it's always a person. Even business to business, I was never selling in my Italian food manufacturing business to another business. Although I was selling to another business, I was always dealing with a human being. So I built relationships with the buyers in each of the businesses that I dealt with. I didn't build relationships with the business. It was with the human being that represented that business. And if you remember that, it changes the way you treat people. If you treat it like a numbers game and just a number, people know that, and people don't want to be treated like a commodity or a number. So that's part of why I really want to delve deep into this. Hey, do you know the lifetime value of your customer? And it's going to change over time. When I first started in business, the lifetime value of my customers, say for my ice business, was about $200, not $200. That's not a good example, because that was pretty good too. But let's say you're starting out in your business, and the lifetime value of your customer, you've only been in business for a year. Maybe it's only $1,200. Maybe they only spend $100 a month with you, and it's only $1,200. Well, it's still different to look at that person as, oh, they spent $1,200 with me. I'm going to build that relationship so that they come back every month. So they spend the $1,200 versus the initial sales, say $100. Say they spend $100 with you and they may or may not come back. I'm not going to get into this formula right now, but that's what I'm teaching people, is why it's important. Because for me, the average lifetime value of a customer was worth almost $45,000 in my business. And the range was, anywhere from $1,200 to millions of dollars. And yeah, I treat somebody, if I know that any one customer can be worth millions of dollars to my business and my organization and my life, do you think I'm going to treat that person a little bit differently than if I think they're only worth their first sale, say under $100,000? Am I going to treat under $1,000 sale person different than I treat somebody that could be worth millions of dollars to me, or somebody in an organization that I know is probably going to be worth $44,000 a year to me? Yeah, $44,000 a year versus $1,000 one-time sale. I am definitely going to do things to encourage them to come back, continue to do business with us, and do business with us each and every week. It's just a mindset thing. And it's just a change of perspective. And we can change our mind and change our perspective any time, but just a little teeny tweak, a change in perspective like that can make all the difference for you growing your business and creating the business that you want. So I did a do-over today. I did a mulligan on my video, and I think the first time it was 10 minutes and 33 seconds, which it can't even be 1 second over for either Instagram or for LinkedIn. So I'm like, nope, do it over, do it again. Now, I keep telling myself I'll get a little egg timer and set it by me so I make sure that I don't go over 10 minutes and I can keep an eye on it, but I never do that. I believe YouTube Live has a countdown on it, so maybe I'll start recording that. If I do it more often than not, I can always switch to YouTube Live and use the timer. But for right now, it's really quick and easy to record this on Facebook Live and then strip out the audio for my podcast and share it in various places. So that's why I do it as a Facebook Live. And then since I want to put it on Instagram and LinkedIn, that's why I'm limited to the 10-minute time. And you can share a lot of really cool information in 10 minutes. So it's just a matter of being clear, concise, only giving one example, only sharing one example from my past, cutting my stories and not rambling and getting off topic. Or I have to do a mulligan and start over. I kind of like mulligans because the second time I think it's usually only 7 or 8 minutes when I do it. So that tells me I had 2 to 3 minutes of just rambling or oddness in there that should have come out anyway to make it better. And life is all about continuously improving, continually getting better in everything that we do. And that means getting better as a person, better as a presenter, better as a communicator, better as a leader, better as a coach, better as a mom, better as a grandma, better as everything. So that's it. Mulligan. Go take a mulligan today if you need to. I take mulligans all the time. I don't call them mulligans, but I do a lot of do-over stuff. I think it's inherent in my upbringing and my background. And probably because I dive into stuff pretty fast sometimes without knowing all the steps. I just jump in and start, and I know that if I do the first thing, the next thing will appear. All right. I will catch you tomorrow. Have an absolutely terrific, fantabulous day. We will be with you tomorrow. Bye. Go take a mulligan.